going on YouTube? Uh, just got the most recent update, which is the .31 update that brings some new features over to the Gen 1. Not a very large update as far as update content, but still brings some pretty cool stuff. I've got a Gen 1, or as I sometimes call it, a Gen 1.5, because it's a dual motor standard plus battery, which is the software locked version of the previous large battery. And it does come with the performance package on here. So you can see I am charged to 100% right now, which is showing a 297, which 300 is the number that's on the sticker. But we'll get into this most recent update here. So you can see it starts out with, let's see what's new with Green Lion. Green Lion is what I've named the vehicle. That is a Voltron reference for those who are curious. View update details. So you can see I'm at 2024.31.01. The main updates that are included here are the improved search functionality using Google search. It gets a little squirrely because they say updated search with Google Maps. That does not mean that the maps that are integrated into the system are actually Google Maps. It is still the Rivian proprietary navigation maps, navigating logic that has not been switched over to run Google like you would get from Android Auto, for example. Some increased accuracy with traffic when it comes to the maps. Just a couple changes to navigation, and I'll show a couple of those real quick. Enhanced auto mode for climate. This is a weird one. I've never understood if we put this on auto. My Mustang Mach-E also had 3 levels of auto: high, medium, and low. I feel like auto should just be auto, meaning it does whatever it needs to do to achieve the targeted temperature. But you can decide if it's going to get there slowly by being on low, or get there quicker being on high. So it's a little bit of a weird nomenclature when you're using auto. When you're out of auto, you still got your traditional control your fan speeds based on your preference. So if we were to jump into the navigation, we can look for other items. So we will think about going to a restaurant here in the New England area called the 99. We can look that up. You can see now it gives you its Google Maps rating, if you can make that out. So it's a 4.2 rating with review. It is pulling in these images for the restaurant itself. Again, it's pulling all of this through Google Maps information regarding this specific restaurant. In the future, this is tied to the Connect Plus connectivity, but I'm in my driveway. I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and if I were on the road, I'm still within the free period for the Connect Plus, so I would see this for the next month and a half. It's supposed to expire in October. So once that expires and I'm not connected to either my home Wi-Fi or if I'm hotspotting, I wouldn't get this Google Map information. So that is only there as part of the feature set that comes with the monthly subscription. In the past, and if you've watched some of my other road trip videos, you know that there's a gear here where you can make your changes to your estimated arrival percentage, which you can slide this around and it bases it on miles or percentage. It gives you both of those, as well as your preferred networks. For example, I have my adapter, so I wouldn't avoid the ones that need adapters, and I will use this always as my going forward. But you can always change that. The one thing you couldn't do, which I found strange at the time, was once you were navigating,
then turn right onto Central Street.
You weren't able to make those changes. So you see here, now that I've pulled up this arrow menu here, that gear icon is here, and I can make that adjustment now, and it will now recalculate based on this new change that I've made. So you can see that it's saying, yes, you can make it, but if you want to get there with 67% of your battery, you need to stop at this charger nearby and charge for this amount of time. So let's bring that back down. I usually like to keep that at about 20 miles.
5 northeast, then turn right onto Central Street.
So that is a welcomed feature. All right, the big change comes with, as you're going into settings, this color theme accent. So this is something that was on the Generation 2. It's much more advanced on the Generation 2 because their lighting system is a much more RGB setup than what these are, but this is still pretty cool. So if you see, the interior lighting has always been this white color, but if we go up to displays and lighting, we now have this section called accent lighting, which you can turn off if you'd like. So now everything's off. You can set it to high, medium, which is the standard, and low. And then once you click in here, you now have your different choices to make. So the Generation 2 would have more of a color wheel and more options to pick from. But again, I'm not upset about getting this feature added, just to be able to add a little bit of an accent color. So each one of these has its own descriptor, which falls very much in line with Rivian's adventure approach and some of their naming conventions. I'm not sure what a desert snow is, but that was the first one that starts up. That's your standard white lighting. And then as you go through each one of these, there's a little graphic and it plays a sound. So you can hear that seal as we're going to this glacier fog. Very similar. It's got a slight greenish hue to it. Forest Valley, which, because my vehicle is the forest green, maybe this would be the color I'd like to stick with. That one gives you the blue. This one gives you a little bit of a purple. nice little reddish orange. Yellow. And then we're back to desert snow. You can just jump ahead if you don't want to scroll through them by clicking the actual colors. One thing that would have been interesting would have been if this theme carried itself through to the shaded cell architecture that has been that came in with the recent bigger update, but it doesn't have any impact on that. That would have been an interesting way to change it up. So this one's Forest Valley, Twilight Trail. It would have been interesting for that background to also tie in with the naming convention and the color selection that comes along with that naming convention. So then just some of the final improvements that came along with this update here. Apple Music fixes for those that had some issues, audible issues where things were overlapped on the home screen. Again, these are things that I haven't encountered just because I'm not an Apple user. I'm also not an Audible listener. They reduced the pet comfort temperature to 63 degrees from 68 where it was before. This came as a request from Kyle over out of Spec. While you're not in park, you can use your phone's hotspot for internet connectivity. So again, that goes to that Connect Plus feature. If you don't want to pay for the service, you can be connected to a Wi-Fi, and that Wi-Fi can be coming from the hotspot on your phone or other hotspot device. But I guess previously you could only do that when in park, which means you would lose the connectivity to Spotify, Tidal, TuneIn, Apple Music, which once the Connect Plus trial ends, will be tied directly to that Connect Plus subscription services. So if you're in the settings and you go to this upgrades, this will show you where your Connect Plus is available. So again, everyone is on the trial period until October of this year, and again, that gives you these specific features, media streaming, but again, that's if you want to be able to pay for the monthly or the annual subscription to get access to these. You can also use your hotspot device to use many of the features that are listed here, like I said. So what do you guys think about this update? Again, I think it's really cool that they are able to implement things like color changing, accent lighting. It's only a little feature, but I would have assumed it was a white LED strip that didn't have any RGB capability. So to be able to add that over the air is just a really cool thing to see. They've really changed this vehicle since I've gotten it. I picked it up at the very end of April. We're now in September. So I will be doing a 6-month review sometime in October once I can get around to it. We've gone through already 4 updates in the 5 months that I've owned it. So great work to the Rivian team and anyone who is looking to get one of these, I would appreciate it if you use the link to my Rivian rewards that I'll put in the description. Um, with that, we each get $750 discounts, and that would help me out. Thank you.